breath, still in my mind, and all that was real is behind. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what can get you. You have a fever dream, can't you see, getting closer. Just surrender, cause you feel the feeling taking over. It's fire, it's freedom, it's flooding open. It's a picture in the pulpit and your blind devotion. There's something breaking at the brick of every wall, it's holding on to you. So tell me, do you wanna go? Where it's coming in all color lights, where the runaways are running the night. Impossible comes true, it's taking over you. It's
Yes, impossible comes true, it's taken over you. This is your greatest show. I absolutely love that line. Impossible comes true, it's taking over you. This is your greatest show. This life can be your greatest show. So today, it's all going to be about your life's purpose. We're on day 5, the final day, and so we're going to round it up with how to utilize and help you tap into your life's purpose. So every single person on this planet has a life's purpose. We are all here for a reason. We are intended to be here. Every single one of us makes a difference. It's so important to know that even in the times when you are feeling really low, it's so important to know you are intended to be here. That is so important. Every single person on this planet has something called a unique Dharma, and that is their intention, their reason why they are here. So we're going to talk about that today, and believe it or not, your life purpose is not necessarily synonymous with your career. Should I say not to your career, but with your career. So discovering your life purpose can help you in every single area of your life. So from your job to your home to your relationships. So for some people, a job is simply a job. It's just a source of income, perhaps even a source of stimulation and reward. You can get a lot of job satisfaction from doing a really good job. But in the end, it may still be completely unrelated to your broader life purpose. So this could be by choice or by circumstances. So for other people, their job and their career is closely intertwined with their life purpose, and their job or their career could actually be exactly what their life purpose is, their vocation. So some people speak of finding their vocation based on their calling, and for other people, their vocation is deeply rooted in the notion of service. Okay, and for those who want to integrate their career with a life purpose, it's not enough to simply long for more meaningful work. The fulfilling careers do not usually happen merely by chance. Okay, so really what you need to do is take control of that process. So it doesn't necessarily just happen. Sometimes it does. Sometimes people just have an amazing hidden talent and they know from a really, really young age what their life purpose is. But for others, it sometimes doesn't come out until later on in life. They don't actually necessarily discover it until later on in life, after X amount of experiences, and sometimes experiences in people's lives. This is where it's a really positive thing, can then lead them to their life's purpose. And basically that's what's happened to me. I didn't really know what my life purpose was until I would say from about the age of 40. So it's only really been in the last 3 years that I really know what it is that I wanted to do and how I love to be of service to people, to help people, to change people's mindsets, to just help people feel positive and better about themselves. And by doing that, I just know that that's my life being on purpose. And the same can happen for anybody. You know, you can find this at any time of your life. It's never ever too late to find what your true purpose really is. Never ever too late. So never ever give up on it. So basically, as you can kind of like, what my job is to help you, to help other people to really see things in a new light, and perhaps to help you understand that life is constantly flowing and changing, and often life is like a spiral. You know, you get around a corner, so a certain experience will get you around a corner, and then it will bring you new ways of seeing things, and then another experience will happen and you turn another corner, whether it's positive or negative, and then new life happens again, and you again see things from a different perspective. And it's just really understanding that our physical life here, that's basically what it's like. It's just ebbing and flowing. It's flowing and changing all the time. Okay, and in order to kind of make the best of those experiences, and to learn from those experiences, and to turn a corner, is to change those experiences into positives. So basically we expand and we grow through like chambers and progressive awakenings from different experiences that involve changing the physical, our mental, emotional and spiritual transitions. And it's very, very important to know that every single experience that you have is an experience to further grow yourself. Okay, and you know, don't look at these or try not to look at these experiences as a negative. They are there to further your growth and to learn from, until perhaps then you find yourself understanding what your true purpose in life is. Okay, so if we find out what our passion and purpose is, I don't know if you've all heard of the saying, if you choose a job you love, you will never have to work a day in your life. And you know, this in some ways is actually true. So if you are lucky enough to actually be fulfilling and making money and having a career from your life purpose, you are extremely blessed. Okay, and you know, just to be able to just find your life purpose in general is an absolute fantastic thing. It enhances your well-being. But as I said, it doesn't matter if that is the thing that isn't necessarily your career. That does not matter, as long as in some way in your life you find what your purpose is, that very thing that makes you fill yourself with joy and makes you really, really happy from the inside out, then you are extremely blessed indeed. And it's very, very important to remember that. So but if you do find that you're doing a job that you love, it's basically work is not work at all. Life is simply too short to be sort of dragging through your day like your life is some sort of punishment. So it's really good to just basically find that very thing that makes you feel alive and full of joy. Okay, so it really, really is important to find what your life purpose is, and anybody can actually do that. If it turns out that you feel that you are struggling and you really, really haven't found that very thing that sets your heart on fire, that you want to, you know, that really, really sets you feeling like a sense of well-being, then there is ways and means to try and dig in and find out what that is. Because when you are true to who you really are, you don't really have to then pretend to be something that you don't want to be. And it's really important to kind of feel like you are living your life with passion and purpose. That really is the key of knowing that that's what you're doing, fulfilling your life with passion and purpose. So the questions to perhaps ask yourself is, are you living with passion and purpose? And there's 11 questions that I've got written down on here that perhaps, again, if you want to get yourself a pen and paper, you want to write these down and really question yourself on. Number 1 is, do you have a personal mission statement? And if so, what is it? Number 2, what are those things that are really important to you? So in other words, your goals and your values. So what is it in life that's really important to you? Number 3, what is it that you are chasing after? So is it money? Is it peace of mind? Is it fame? You know, it could be anything. What is that very thing that you are chasing after? Number 4, what makes you really smile? Okay, and that is really important, because that's basically saying, what is it that makes you feel really happy? Number 5, what are your favourite things to do? So what are your pastimes? What do you like to do in your spare time? Number 6, what makes you lose track of time? So what's that very thing that you get so engrossed in because you love it so much that you then lose track of time? What inspires you or moves you to tears? That's number 7. Number 8 is, what are you naturally good at, or what would you love to teach? So if there's something that you're really, really good at and that you know that you'd be really good at teaching it, what would that be? Number 9 is, what would you regret not fully doing, being, or having in your life? And number 10, what would you still love to do even if you did not get paid for it? So if you could do something for the rest of your life but you did not get paid for that, what would it be? So what is that thing that you absolutely love to do? And the last one, imagine yourself at the age of 90. What are those things you look back at with love and pride? So just kind of fast forward your imagination as though you're 90 years old, and what would you look back at with love and pride? What are those things that you would be so proud of yourself for? And would you have done anything different? So if you looked back, would you have done anything different? And if so, what would it have been? Okay, now this is a really, really great exercise to do, because it just helps you to sort of get thinking and thinking in a new way. All right, so as I said, each of us were put on this earth for a reason. You know, we didn't come into this school of life to just hang around. All right, we didn't come here to just live, to just be born and then to do something in between, kind of just float about and then die. We didn't come here for that. We didn't come here just to hang out. We came here to make a difference, to accomplish something or influence something. We came here to learn lessons, to overcome obstacles. Okay, sometimes really, sort of really hard, difficult ones to overcome. But life is really an amazing gift. It really is an amazing gift, and you know, the expression of this gift helps us to contribute to the whole of society. So it's really important to try to discover these things, because without it, you know, we're just kind of living a life and not really knowing and understanding what we are really here for. And life is for living, and you know, as I said before, you know, we all have that unique dharma, that unique life purpose. We have energy, that life energy within us. You know, we have source within us. You know, it is everywhere around us. There's nowhere where it can't be. That creative energy is inside of us that made life, and it's a loving energy. And you know, you were not put here just to simply be born and to die and not have the greatest life that you could possibly live. No, you really have it. You have it within you. It is there. It is right there. And it is just tapping into it and allowing life to flow and really get a life of purpose, passion and purpose. Okay. I feel so passionate about that I just want that for every single person on this planet. I'm so passionate about it. So when we do take those steps to explore and discover our purpose, we can live a life based on our passions. It's so possible to do that. We spend so much of our time working over the course of our lifetime that we may as well try to find out and do something that we really, really do love to do. As I said, not everybody in their lives, the job that they do isn't always the thing that their life purpose is, but it would be fantastic if every single person was doing the vocation or doing the job and earning money from and a career of which is their life purpose. That is what I would love for everybody. That is a fantastic thing. Not everybody gets there. However, you can get there. Anyone can get there when they really, really do ask themselves these questions and really go for it, and you know, remove all those subconscious limiting beliefs on, you know, how am I going to get there, I'm not good enough, blah blah blah, because you really, really can. If you really tap into it, you can do this, and it's never ever ever too late. Okay, not everybody get there, but a lot of people do still find out what they love to do, even if it doesn't become their career or the thing that they earn money from. In some way or other, they still are doing their life's purpose in some aspect of their lifetime. Okay, but to actually be doing that as your vocation, as your career, is the most wonderful experience. And I would love that for every single person on this planet. And as I said, you really can achieve it if you just let go, allow things to flow, tap into the energy, and release all those things, those limiting beliefs that are holding you back. Okay, so quite often, as we've talked about before, sometimes we live our lives based on what everyone else wants us to be or wants us to do, and we forget that we're here on earth for a divine purpose, our purpose, not somebody else's purpose, not somebody else that's told you they want you to do or cannot do or whatever. You're here for your purpose, okay? So forget about what other people want from you. It's important that you find out what you are and what your life purpose is for yourself. Okay, right. So once you do start to find your calling and you do start living your life with purpose and passion, you can then start to experience the ecstasy of life. Okay, so people who truly love what they do work all the time and dedicate all their energy towards it, because it doesn't feel like work. So you can, you know, it's basically running on an adrenaline all the time, or working with inspired action all day long, because you're really living your life with purpose and meaning, and you're fulfilling your life's dharma. And you can get that real buzz of excitement, because what you're really, really doing in life is making a massive difference to the world. And it is truly, or it's really all about, basically that's what life's about at the end. You know, you're making a difference to the world. Okay, and you know, sometimes the world can be a pretty brutal place sometimes. So it's always best to find something that you really, really love to do, that you really, really get that buzz of excitement from. Okay, and I find that is so important. So how can we discover what our talents are? Okay, so I'm just going to find my notes on that, and this is quite an important thing because it's basically helping you to discover your natural skills and talent. Okay, so that's probably one of the most important things in terms of finding your life purpose. So it's discovering what those talents are. So I've just got kind of a list of things to think about, or ways to do that. The first one, again, you might want to jot these down. The first one is to reflect on yourself. So basically reflect on your past accomplishments, which is a great way to start. And that will also help you to kind of open your mind to new possibilities and pathways, because sometimes we're often blind to some of our talents. So reflecting is quite a good place to start. And just keep in mind that talents can come in all shapes and sizes and in many areas of your life, and sometimes you may want help to actually find this. You may want to ask a friend or a family, and sometimes it's difficult to kind of analyze and reflect on yourself, so sometimes you may want the help of a family member or a friend. Another way to find out what your talents are is to look back on your past. So quite often there's lots of things that you've done over the years, ever since you were a child, and this include looking at things that you've enjoyed and the things that you've really excelled at, you know, maybe as a child growing up. So you may want to think to yourself, well, what is it that I've been most proud of, what I've done? What's the very thing that has given me real pride in what I've done? And sort of, when was I so proud that I didn't care what anyone else thought? Is there something that I've done, what I've been so proud of, where I don't care about what you think of me? I am really proud of myself, because it's a really personal thing. And thinking about your childhood in this aspect is really important. So things like, you may want to think about, you know, what did I enjoy doing when I was a child? You know, think about the hobbies that you did, things that you did on a regular basis. You may then unearth some real hidden talents in there. Okay, and you may also want to think, where are the times in my life, looking back, where I have really struggled, and I have, you know, think about all the tough situations that you have had where life has become a real trial. But then look at yourself and think, but how did I overcome them? So where have I struggled? What did I do to overcome those struggles? And it's those moments where you can then reveal hidden talents and hidden skills. So when in my life did I struggle? What's one of my worst moments in my life? But what did I do? How did I overcome it? And what did I do? Okay, so that's a really good way of finding out any hidden skills that you may have. Another thing is to think about what you enjoy, which we've already touched on. All those things that make you smile. Ask someone else. Basically write down anything that you enjoy. You know, a good thing to do this is actually just as jotting in. So get a piece of paper, and first things that you come into in your mind, just jot them down. You know, even if they're just bullet points, just jot them down, because it's amazing the things that you just suddenly pop in your mind, even if they're really obscure things. Just really tap into it and just, you know, bullet point it. Don't make it a difficult task. Don't think to yourself, right, what do I enjoy, and have to think because the things that you enjoy should already be there. They'll just pop up, and even if, you know, the first thing that pops in your head, just write it down. Okay, even if it's obscure, it doesn't matter, because you can look at it later. It really doesn't matter. Is there anything that you get compliments regularly on? You know, it might be that you're a great person at talking to someone about their problems. You know, what are the things that people compliment you on? Okay, it might be that you're a really calm person, or, you know, or someone might say, oh, when I'm with you, I feel really peaceful, or I feel really happy, or, you know, think of all the things that people say to you and compliment you on. And that's another way that you can discover what your life purpose is, because it's something that is natural to you. Okay. Yeah, and again, it can just be something, things that you enjoy can be just simply something like walking in nature, just basically the thing that allows you to just feel good about yourself. So it's what feels good. Okay. Another thing is to evaluate, the next thing is to evaluate what you're good at. So again, keeping in mind, there may be a difference in what you enjoy doing and what you're actually good at. So that's quite an important thing. So think about all the things that you're good at, but you may not necessarily enjoy doing that. Okay, I know it sounds really funny. So the last question was, what do you enjoy doing? This one is evaluate what you are particularly good at. Okay, now there may be a difference, as I say, in what you enjoy doing, what you're actually good at. Because sometimes you may think that your talents only lie in the things that you love doing, but actually your talents are often things you may not necessarily enjoy, or things you don't even think about. Okay, but it's important to take a long hard look at what you're actually good at. And it doesn't mean that that's, you know, I'm not saying that if you're good at something but you don't enjoy it, then that's the path you want to take, because that's definitely is not the case. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean to say that that's where your life purpose is. So this is the difference. Some people think, well, I'm good at that, so this must be what my life purpose is. But when you actually look deeply into it, but I don't actually really enjoy it. So the thing is to tap into the thing that sets you alight, that gives you the greatest joy. Okay, and that you know that you could do, which gives you, that makes you feel really passionate, something that you're really passionate about. Okay, just because you're good at it, it doesn't mean that you're passionate about it. So that is a very, very important point. Also think about the times when you were successful. So look back on your life, think about the times where you really succeeded, and times where you felt that you could just burst with pride. And because that is something that you've done that you feel really good at. Okay, that's another thing. Number 6, and this is a good thing to do, is write a story of your life. And this exercise is just a fantastic way to really get your creative juices flowing. It doesn't only help to reveal talents, but also the talents that maybe you should consider developing. Okay, so writing about what you were like as a child, for example, what you did before, what you did after school, what your favourite subjects were, that's a good place to start. Talk about or write about when you were growing up, where you are in your life now, and just basically as well, you can write about the future and where you want to go as well. So writing that story of your life, you can really get your creative juices flowing by doing that. Okay, another thing is asking people as well. I talked about that again on, I think it was point 2 or 3, just having an outside perspective as well from family and friends is a good thing. So just asking them, your family or friends, ask them what they perceive your strengths to be, because sometimes having that is sometimes quite hard to really sort of pinpoint what your strengths are yourself. So asking family and friends, that's a really good thing, and a lot of people are happy to offer that advice to you. And point 8 as well is open up time for new things. So time is the one thing that never changes. So when it comes to discovering your life purpose, it pays to really make time to contemplate and reflect, because your talents can lie in the activities that perhaps you've not even tried yet. Okay, and if you don't make time for these things, they will never expand, or you will never expand beyond what and who you are now. So taking the time just to kind of open yourself up to new things, new beliefs, and just perhaps new skills, new talents. Don't just get stuck on where you are now. Open yourself up to learn something new. Okay, and keep developing your talents, keep developing your learning, your education, your spirituality, everything. Just keep learning, because if you get stuck where you are now, you are never going to grow. All right, so that's a very important point. Building on existing skills, I mean, that may sound quite obvious, but it is important to mention. Any skill that you already possess can be turned into a real talent. All right, but again, these may take time to develop. Another thing is just trying things you've never tried before, and again, that's similar to making time to develop new talent. So make time for things you've never tried before. So that's quite important too. And also another important point is actually doing something outside of your comfort zone. So doing something you've never tried before, go hand in hand with that. And you might think to yourself, oh my god, I can't do this, I can't do that. Again, you're holding on to these limiting beliefs, but try to do something that's outside of your comfort zone, and you may actually find talent in that. You may actually find that you enjoy doing that. So again, it links to trying new things. You may think that you're not good enough, smart enough. You may not see yourself as that kind of a person, for example, but until you try, until you do something outside of your comfort zone, you will never know. Okay. Another thing is perhaps take classes in subjects that interest you. Again, it's trying new things, learning new skills, etc. And it's basically expanding your experiences. It's really important. Don't just get stuck where you are. Keep learning, keep finding new things to do. Because it's then when you can tap into that very thing that sets your passions flowing, your creative juices flowing, and really take on new challenges and new things and new talents and new skills. Quite often the times when we do struggle are when we are removed from our comfort zone. Okay, so when we're removed from our comfortable environment, that's often, and when we're struggling, that's often when we take on new challenges. That's when we often discover where our true talents are. So never see a struggle as a negative thing, because this is often when we can really grab the bull by the horns and take on new challenges and really discover the strengths that are within us. That's really important. Okay, so when we talked about earlier on, when I said I gave a list and we talked about mission statements. Mission statements is basically something that your own personal mission statement. To help you discover your life purpose, what is your mission statement? What is it that you really want to do in life? Okay, now my mission statement, for example, is that I'm passionate about helping people learn to find their inner sparkle. That for me is, I just love that. I just love for everybody to tap in to the very thing that makes them feel passionate and really sets them their creative juices flowing, so that they're really doing the very thing that they love. So they're living a life on purpose, they're living with passion and purpose, with positivity. That's what I really want for other people. And it's important to have your own mission statement. So maybe again, that's something that you can look at. What is it in life that you really sets you, your passions flowing? Okay, so that's something perhaps for you to look at and think about. So if you have a real desire for something, that is really, it really is meant for you. I always say, if you've got a desire for something, then that is what's meant for you. Okay, now Ignore all the negative belief systems. If that's your desire, that's what your passion is, that is what is meant for you. So just spend some time, again, that goes hand in hand with the mission statement. Spend some time thinking about exactly what it is that you desire. Okay, and write down any of those belief systems that you may have surrounding those desires. Okay, so what are your desires? Let's go through all the questions that I read out earlier, write them down, make a list of all the things that you desire and really, really love to do in life. Write down all your limiting belief systems surrounding those desires, list them, okay? And then another good exercise once you've done that is to then flip it over, so turn it around and then change each statement into a positive statement. So each limiting belief that you've written down around surrounding those desires, then flip it over and write a positive statement next to each one. Okay, so when you're doing that, you need to think about, why do I think this? So why do I think this limiting belief about that desire, and how can I overcome it? So they are the kind of things you need to be thinking in your head. Why do I think this, and how can I overcome it? So don't be a victim to your own self-talk and limiting beliefs. Okay, now that is so important. You really can delve straight right in there and really find out what your purpose is and what your passions are. But don't be a victim to your own self-talk, your negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. Okay, just ignore them. And if you, or don't ignore them, as I said, write them down and then write a positive statement next to it to say, why do I have that belief? How can I overcome it? Because this is my desire, and I'm not going to let you, limiting belief, get stuck in my way. You can just go away. Okay, just tell it that it's just absolute rubbish. So don't be a victim to your limiting beliefs. So one of the last things I just want to say, and this is important, one of the most important, if not the most important thing, is to always be your authentic self. Okay, so true success comes when you take the time to really get to know yourself. Being authentic means staying true to your core. That means not worrying about what anyone else think of you. That what anyone else think of you is none of your business. Don't worry about them. Okay, being authentic is staying true to you, okay, and to your core values and who you are. That is so important. If I listened to, I mean, some of the things that I talk about, you know, in the last few days about energies and spirituality, etc., some people would think, what the hell, she doesn't, she's absolutely crazy. And I know, but I don't care. I really don't care, because this is me. I know what I believe. I'm being authentic and I'm being my true self. And I really, really do not care what those other people think, because I am true to me. Okay, and that is so important. Also, authentic people, they can be exciting, they can be original and refreshing, and it's always good as well to listen to somebody else's point of view. All right, and speaking your truth and not being afraid to show the world who you are is so important. All right, just be who you are and who you are meant to be, because everyone has something amazing to give to the world. Absolutely everyone. Okay, and we can all tap into this and align ourselves with our own core values and our own truth. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just end with saying that I hope you really enjoyed listening, and please keep that inner sparkle shining. Okay, much love. Bye.